Lesson 13.7 is called Triangle Congruence Criteria. So our next proofs are going to be shifting away from just angles and just different properties in triangles to more specifically proving that two triangles are congruent. And remember that congruent means they're the exact same. They're the exact same shape, same size. So like on these, I had to literally copy and paste so that I had two of the same triangles. I didn't want to stretch it and enlarge it or shrink it any, because then those are called similar triangles. Similar triangles look the same, but one's bigger or smaller than the other. They're proportional. But we're trying to prove that triangles are the exact same. And without having to do a bunch of crazy steps, there's actually shortcuts, or knowing certain ways that is enough info to prove that. And then the first one is called side, side, side. You'll see it SSS. You read these around the triangles. That literally means that this side is congruent to this other side from the second triangle. So there's one set of congruent sides, and that this side would be equal to this side, and then this side would equal this side. So if all three sides are the same length, they have to form the same angles here, right? So that's sufficient to prove that they're the same. The next way is side, angle, side, and it has to go in this order. A is between the sides because the angle is, they call it included. Included means my angle is here, so I would read it side, angle, side. Side, angle, side. The angle is formed by the two sides that we're talking about are the congruent pairs. That would be sufficient. And we have angle, side, angle. Just the reverse of this, where we have two angles and then the side must be included. So it's very important that you read it to where you have angle, this side, and then another angle. So the side is the side between the two angles that we're talking about being congruent. Angle, side, and then your other angle. So these two angles would be the same degrees, so that's 28 degrees. This side length is 14, and this angle is both 56 degrees. I know these triangles are the exact same, because really, if I know two out of the three angles, I'm going to also know this one, but I don't need to. So then it's just a matter of, okay, are these triangles just proportional or the exact same? Well, if one set of sides are the same, that means the other sides have to be the same. Triangles can only be made certain ways. It's like the angles are hinges. They can only be made certain ways so that it connects to make a perfect triangle again. The other way is having angle, angle, side. So now the side is not included. So I go angle, angle, and then the side is not the side that's between them, like we just talked about. Angle, an angle, and a side not included. That would be sufficient, because that's still saying that really all three angles are the same, and one of the sets of sides are the same, so we know they're the same. And then the last one deals with a specific right triangle. So you'll see that there's 90s here. You need a hypotenuse and a leg. Remember, the hypotenuse is always across from the 90. So if you know the hypotenuse, I don't know if you say hypotenuses or hypoteni, but if you know the hypotenuses are the same and one of the legs are the same, then this whole triangle must be the same. Okay, so it's almost every combination of A and S except for 2. And we're going to talk about that. If you have all three angles, AAA, being congruent, that's not enough info. And I like this picture because it shows you these angles are the same, but are these triangles an exact duplicate of each other? No, this one's smaller than this one. It's like I've taken it and stretched it. That's called similar. That's not what we're after in this. Those are similar triangles, not congruent. Big difference. So that's not enough info. Okay, we did a whole unit on similar triangles and saying they have the same angles, but the sides are actually proportional, not congruent. And then the other one is side, side, angle. So I've got a side, another side, and then an angle that's not included. Well, you can see here, these triangles are not exactly the same. They have the same angle, and they have two sets of congruent sides, but look at that difference in angles here. It's just how this triangle is formed. We don't know that they're going to be exactly the same. And think about how else you could spell this word. So the thing that I remember is the two ways that don't prove triangles to be congruent. We're going to say no naughty words. And I'm going to spell it because we all got to know. If I spelled this backwards, that's ASS. And no excessive screaming or yelling, whatever you want to say. And that's ah. So that's how I remember it. No joke. No naughty words. So this way doesn't work. And no excessive screaming. Ah. Everything else pretty much works.